Why are you playing Bobby Wood? What do you want to learn about him?
Besides the struggles at Hamburg, and besides that, like you said, if anybody needs confidence, it's him. You saw it in his play. Did we need to see Vialfania again? Did we need to see DeAndre Yedlin again? Did we need to see Darlington Nagbe again? These things don't make sense to me. I wanted to see Shaq more. I want to see Robinson. I wanted to see more of Marky Delgado in that set position. Tyler Adams behind him, not necessarily Will Trapp. I wanted to see more of these players we haven't seen. Tim Weah, a player who plays for PSG, one of the richest rosters in the world, who's getting first-team minutes there.
He got six minutes.
We assume deserves more than 6 minutes. You know, Novakovic, what he showed in those final minutes. You needed to see more of these young players getting a chance. I didn't care about the result. Nobody cares about playing a Paraguay team who's in the same position as you are and beating them 1-0. If there was ever a time to let these kids play and showcase them, this was the game.
Yeah, it's not like you're getting ready for something.
Yeah.
It's not, the World Cup. The World Cup is not coming. Okay, that's fact. So once we accept that, we can move forward. And when we move forward, you have to understand that here's an opportunity. See these guys out there. No pressure. There's a moment in which you're not preparing yourself for any tournament, for any significant game. There is no meaning behind any of this. Put them out there. And oh, by the way, there's Serkin. If we're very honest, it's not going to be in the job too much longer.
Yeah.
So what does he care?
Yep.
Put him out there.
Right,
you want to see the development of the players? Well, put them in a position in which they can show you what they have.
It was the big result from yesterday, wasn't it? Spain 6, Argentina 1. And the Argentina newspapers are not happy. What a catastrophe, massacre in Madrid. We need 3 Messis, says Ole, as we welcome in our Argentinian colleague from ESPN Deportes, Ricardo Ortiz, with us. Ricardo, how vicious has the criticism been over the last 24 hours?
Yeah, it's been incredible. Thank you for inviting me once again. Argentina has to do really bad for me to be on the show.
Normally it's Messi doing bad today.
It's the only reason I'm happy that they lost 6-1. But the press has been on Argentina for many years now since they lost in the final of the World Cup. Remember, Messi left the national team and eventually came back. They went through 3 coaches since then. Sampaoli has about 10 to 12 games with this team, and he has tried 102 players in the last 10 teams. He has called up 102 players. What happens in Argentina, that anything that is not a win by a lot is a catastrophe. So imagine when you lose 6-1. But I really don't believe in this 6-1. Personally, I'm one of the few because I saw something totally different. When you look at the result, that's what everybody looks at. 6-1. But Messi wasn't there, Agüero wasn't there, Facio wasn't there. There was a lot of players that weren't on the pitch.
You're not selling it.
No, okay. For the first 60 minutes, Argentina with 2 players the first time playing on the national team, another guy had a second game, and the other one the third. Against Spain, in Spain, that been playing together for the last 10 years, most of them. For the first 60 minutes, it was 2-1, and the possession of the ball was pretty much 50-50 until then.
But then, obviously, the focus is going to be what happened after.
But the focus is what happened afterwards. Look, Messi wasn't on the field, and that is huge.
But Messi's not a defender.
No, Messi's not a defender, but when he has the ball, and he takes it up front, I can guarantee you that Jordi Alba would have never crossed the midfield line. Not once. And that's a big thing, because what happened, Spain is attacked a lot on the left with Iniesta, with Isco, with Alba. If you have Messi, you stop that. The other thing was the big problem, and this is where you're going to buy it, is that Sampaoli wants to play the way Messi wants to play. It's 4 in the back, 2, 3, and 1. Okay, so Messi's not on the field. He's trying that system to see which player would be better to play along Messi. What happens is you look at the result. It was 2-1 for 60 minutes, and then all of a sudden it's 6-1. The problem is that a lot of those players are not at the level. But once you get the whole team, I really believe in this Argentinian
This is not
team.
what we do in this show. We can make a 2-1 victory into a negative.
Yeah, no.
Shake my hand. You're the
understand.
first ever, only ever Argentinian I've met that's positive after a 6-1 defeat.
Yes, but
because
Messi was
he left Dybala at home, he left Icardi at home because he said, look, these players aren't ready to play in this system.
That's right.
You look at the way in which
he also says he doesn't like how Germany plays. I'm sure he likes how Spain plays. All right. Look, this is a problem not having Dybala on this team, and especially Icardi. Look, it's not Sampaoli's fault that in the first couple of minutes, Higuain, right next to the goalkeeper, sends it to where? It ended up in Bernabeu from the Atletico Madrid. Any other player, at least he takes a shot on goal. And then give me Agüero in that position, okay? Agüero probably would have scored. Then you have this kid Misa. This is very positive. He was phenomenal. It was his first game ever with the national team. He might be a starter. He's definitely going. There's a lot of teams in Europe that now are interested in him after one game, and they found a player that could be together, somebody that could play with Messi.
Well, I agree with you that Messi being on the field conditions what other teams do offensively. Come on now, it's 6-1. And at 6-1, you saw...
You're looking at the result.
No. I'm going to look at the mistakes.
11 shots on goal, both.
I'm going to look at the mistakes. The lack of athleticism in the middle of midfield by Argentina, if they play like that, they cannot compete with the best teams in the world.
Of course, because everybody said, why didn't he put a team to play defensively to try to hold on Spain that you're playing? Because it's a friendly. He's trying out his system. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If this game ends 3-1, probably the conversation would have been different all over the world. The problem is, again, you're looking at the result.
Yeah.
What he went for the system he wants to play with Messi. And then he put other players in that also played for the first time on the national team. Look, I'm sorry, this is what you do in friendlies before the World
But
Cup.
not against Spain. There are friendlies in which you can get away with this, I agree.
I understand.
But you don't do it against Spain because
I
this will
understand,
happen,
but you
and
took
then all of that
Let's
coverage.
talk about the first 60 minutes when it was 2-1, where Higuain misses a goal that he's right there.
Write all these down.
How do you analyze soccer on this show? I don't know.
For some reason, we analysed 90 minutes.
Yeah,
and not
90 minutes.
60.
It's a 90-minute game.
Look, I don't.
And it's
I
6-1.
analyze it by parts.
Well,
All right, I'll tell you what, shall we talk about the last 30?
yes, let's talk about
okay.
the last 30.
Let's talk about the last 30 if you want.
I'm amazed this year.
Let's talk about the odds for the World Cup.
Oh, I have to say, odds-on favourites.
Right. So remember, the games are 90 minutes in the World
Yes,
Cup, not
yes.
60.
Well, that's changing.
What are the expectations? It must be to win it, surely, because it's Argentina.
It is to win it because any other thing would be a catastrophe. And look, the way Messi is playing right now, and putting the players that I said that were not on this game, I think Argentina has a chance. Look, you're not the only one giving me this. I get it in Spanish too, probably in Chinese if I could speak it. But look, I think Messi is out of this world, and when he plays, he makes everybody better. They play more for him. This game showed that, for example, Mascherano is not ready because he's playing in China. He's not up to it. He put Banega in a place way up front next to Higuain when he's more of a central midfielder, and it makes a big difference. When he came in the other day against Italy, he changed the game around. So, look, we see it different. Hey, you're not the first.
Ricardo Ortiz, as always, thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
coming on. Man, you love Sao Paulo. We thought Gab did. Let's talk about PSG. A lot of speculation on Sunday regarding who the new coach is going to be. I think we all agree that Unai Emery's done. He will be leaving.
When?
At the end of the season.
Good.
Do you want a date?
Oh, you're all right. Just let me know.
He'll be gone, Jules. The big question, of course, is who will replace him. According to the bookies, Thomas Tuchel comes in as favourite
not
at
again.
evens. Antonio Conte then at 4-1. Thomas Tuchel over Conte. Why? How close is this? And who do you think will be in charge next season?
I think nothing is just sorted or signed. And despite Tuchel saying that he has an agreement with the club, I'm not sure that club is PSG right now. I don't think that will be possible. But he's an option, and so is Antonio Conte, and so is Max Allegri as well. And I think one of those three is going to be PSG managers, because I don't think Luis Enrique is going to come. I don't think Pochettino is going to come. What's interesting is the sort of there's a
Who do you
there's
want,
a
Jules?
fight for power.
With your PSG fan hat on, who would you like?
I think Max Allegri is the perfect manager for this team. He has the tactical knowledge that's suited to go far in Europe, for example, and obviously domestically. I think he has the mentality to be tough with players when it needs to be. We saw that with Bonucci, for example, who ended up getting sold by Juventus. And I think that's, again, exactly what's needed for this PSG dressing room. So for me, my choice would go to Allegri every day.
There's a lack of managers out there, and we've talked about this.
Yeah.
But I still think if Arsene Wenger had walked away from Arsenal at the right time, a couple of years ago, and kept it fresh enough and kept his head down, he could have been in this job.
Most definitely, of course.
He could have been,
yeah.
but he's hung on, and the negativity's gone with it.
Max Allegri not only has the history of success, he has the resume, he has the credentials, whereas Thomas Tuchel does
Would you
not.
leave Juve for PSG if they came knocking?
Well, so the sort of criticism that Max Allegri has come under in the amount of success that he's provided for that club, yeah, I have no problem. I'd go. See you later.
Let's talk about the World Cup, shall we, Jules? We've obviously discussed it a lot over the last week, and basically Germany, Spain, and who am I missing? Germany, Spain, and Brazil
Yes,
are the three teams that everyone's been talking about, like as like the upper when it comes to the favourites. France below that, but you look at this France starting 11. France should be in that conversation because there is talent everywhere. What's letting them down?
It's a bit of everything, but I think you realize in the last 2 games against Colombia and Russia that they're just not ready yet. I think Brazil are ready, Spain are ready, Germany are ready. If the World Cup started tomorrow, they will be ready. We're not. There's a lot of work to be done in terms of team spirit. For example, we saw against Colombia, we were complacent and arrogant and we didn't play in the second half. I think we struggle in terms of collective strength as well, with the ball, without the ball. You know, we haven't seen much movement going forward, apart from maybe the first 25 minutes against Colombia. So there's a lot of work to be done with your fullbacks, for example, with the high press, for example, that they have to be done. I think it's good not to be ready too early either, but I think Deschamps would rather have a bit more certainties going into the next few months than to see where he is right now with his team.
Well, I've got news for you, Julian. There's no more time left to do any of these pressing games and all that. So only a Frenchman could be moaning about that squad going into the World Cup. Come on. You've got to be well happy with that.
But why are we not talking about them in the same conversation as Germany, Spain, and Brazil?
Who's not?
We're not. And I think we've all kind of decided that.
Well, I don't see where anything's gone wrong. I mean, a bit of a dodgy result in the friendly against Colombia after we're 2-0 up. Final in the Euros, should have won it. It's ifs and buts, should have won it. World Cup, looking as strong, if not better. The only thing would be the mental side of it. If there's any fractions in the dressing room or Deschamps makes a pig's ear of it as the coach in terms of his team selection, are they good enough as a squad to win it? Yes.
I do like Jules's line. They're not ready, and I'm pleased they're not ready yet. Because they will just get to the finish line in time. Welcome then to Extra Time. The boys are here. Forgive me, boys, if I start with our guest, because Julian was talking about his failed footballing career off camera, and I'm intrigued, Jules. What level did you get to?
I played in the 4th division in France.
4th division in France.
There you go.
Yeah, I was a good...
What sort of player were you?
I was a good, intelligent defensive midfielder. So I ran a lot, and tactically I was very, very good.
Oh, you sound as if you're...
You should have been your own agent.
Do you know N'Golo and Kante played in the...
I don't think it was 4th division, was he?
Was it 3rd division in France? N'Golo Kante played 3rd or 4th?
Yeah, 3rd, yeah.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah,
so,
3rds.
So what happened? What went wrong?
His dad
Oh, my dad didn't believe I could make it, so my dad just said, forget about football, just go and study.
Daddy issues, no!
Can you just tell him no? Oh, wait a minute, I'm 19 years of age. If I want to play football, I'll play football, Dad.
No daddy issues.
In fairness, I didn't believe it myself. I thought maybe mid-table 2nd division could be the highest I could reach, so I thought, is it worth it really? I'm not so sure. I went into studying and, you know, I don't really regret it, to be fair.
Don't really regret it, to be fair.
Well, look where you've ended up.
Look at that.
Talking to us.
Same place as us.
Yeah.
Sat in London,
Actually, I regret it. Actually, I regret it.
Yeah.
sat in London at all hours at night in that glow point.
Do you still play now? Do you like you, Gab, Raph all have a pickup game?
Oh, goodness me.
I've played once with Ralph, I think, but let's put it, he's got a lot of injuries, I think. I'm not sure if Gab plays much.
Ever?
But yeah, I try now and again to play.
Yeah, do you know when you play 5-a-sides or that with Ralph, does he get a data printout of the expected goals at the end of it? Or how does he?
I'm more worried about Raph's hair during that game.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. Right. Whoa. Let's go on.
That's below the belt.
Well, it's above.
Whoa. If I ever did that, would you mention it? Would you mention it?
Who would you predict to win the Golden Boot for the World Cup?
Well, it's not going to be Harry Kane because of England. It's going to be...
Jules, do you want to throw in a name?
Yeah, if I go first, I would go for Gabriel Jesus. I think they're going to score a lot of goals. They will go really far. I really like the performance he put out against Germany, where he could have a hat-trick. Only scored 1, but still. So I would go for Jesus.
Jesus?
Right, I'm going to go a bit left field.
Oh, right, okay.
Well, no, he's not left field, but he's not. I don't know how. Thomas Müller.
Right.
Neymar.
If Argentina is going to do. What? Hey, easy, Jules. Easy, Jules.
Even Jules.
Easy, Jules.
There we go. Gonzalo Higuain.
Kun Agüero.
Kun Aguero. Right then.
Well, according to Ricardo Ortiz,
Yes, our ESPN
they're
report
going to
is-
have the 4 top scorers at the World Cup. Sampaoli's going to be the coach. They're not going to concede a goal.
Yep.
And all the 6-1 memories are just going to be banished.
Very optimistic about that.
Yeah.
What are the differences? Oh dear. Why'd you put this in? What are the differences between Maradona 86 Argentina and Messi 18 Argentina?
Goodness. Well, I would suggest that defensively that team was better in '86. They had Ruggeri playing in the back line.
Yep.
This team sometimes defensively can be all over the place. Valdano was a heck of a player. Zurrichaga was a heck of a player. There was a lot of talent in that
So
team.
is it a bit too much of a myth that Maradona dragged this team?
Well, no, but when you look at the goals that he was scoring,
Sure.
and in the stages in which he was scoring those goals, quarterfinal against England, semifinals against Belgium, assists that he had in the final, then it becomes that sort of...
Who had the better squad?
I think
86.
86.
86 had a better squad.
Yeah, I would take 86.
Yeah, don't forget as well, back then you could get away with a lot more.
Right.
Why are you nodding like that?
Well, because they were skilled in the dark arts.
Right.
Yeah.
Apart
Lot of
from,
kicking.
you know, not just kicking, no, I bet everything really.
Right. Yeah.
Which supplemented their very skillful squad. They were good.
Yeah.
They were good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the individual moments that you have of Maradona. That's what sticks
Yes.
in people's minds. So when people think of '86, they'll go back to the tapes that Craig was talking about the other day,
Yeah.
the VCR tapes and the Betamax tapes, and you go, it's moments, and those moments is Maradona running past all of England, and it's Maradona running around circles in Belgium in the semifinals, and so that's why people think that he dragged that team to a championship.
Jules, which team would you have fitted in better, the 86 or the 2018?
Oh, 86, when the pace was slower and, you know, collectively teams were not as strong probably as now.
Speaking of slow, Shaq, who are you having?
86.
86? With Toby Alderweireld probably on the way out, should Spurs send Toby and cash to Madrid for Bale, or do the same with Lamar or Draxler?
That's complicated.
Jules, you're probably paying attention more than these three on that.
I wasn't.
Yeah, it's a complicated one, this one. They're in a tricky position, Spurs, with Alderweireld, really, because, you know, there's that release clause, obviously.
What
he
is the
doesn't
release
really want
clause,
to
Jules,
stay
for those of us
anymore.
who don't pay attention?
Isn't it £25 million?
Well, I'm asking you, you're the
I think if
journalist.
no. So I think that, you know, they would have to sell in the summer. There's clearly something broken between him and Pochettino as well, because now he's fit and he still doesn't play. Although I think he's a better player than Davinson Sanchez, for example. So, you know, there's clearly a lot of things not going well there. And then in terms of swap, I don't know. I think can Harry Kane and Gareth Bale both play very well together in the same team? I'm not so sure. I would go for Lemar. I would swap him for Lemar.
I think they can play well. I'll tell you what can't happen.
What's that?
Well, it could happen, but it would be completely out with how they do things. There is absolutely not a hope in hell that they could smash their wage structure to pay Gareth Bale.
Yeah.
They can't.
Yep.
I mean, they can't pay the wages of some of the other Premier League teams. Never mind what the top guys are getting at Real Madrid.
Yeah, look, they couldn't hold on to Kyle Walker. He obviously went to City.
It just can't happen. Well, it just won't happen. I don't know what Lamar and Draxler are on at PSG. I wouldn't imagine it's...
You want no part of this, do you?
Not particularly, no.
Yeah, not Shaq. You all right?
I'm doing well, thanks.
It's good to know.
Well, you're doing something.
I'm just sitting here quietly.
Hey, Shaq was disappointed today
Mind my own business.
that everybody's going to get access to what days he has.
Oh, yeah.
vacation.
It's a new vacation
Yeah.
spreadsheet. Shaq
Yeah.
has a lot of vacations.
Yeah, so
That is not true.
So now everybody will get to see the
That's
actual
not true.
numbers.
Yeah.
I don't have
Concern.
I don't have any more vacations than anybody else.
You're off a lot, Shaq.
You have worked the system quite well.
ESPN, are you in tomorrow, Shaq?
The dark arts.
Yes,
It's
yes,
the
very
dark arts.
dark.
That's all I'm saying.
You in tomorrow, Shaq? You in tomorrow?
I'm not sure. I Haven't checked the schedule
That'll
yet.
be a no then.
Hey, we'll be in, won't we,
Check.
Craig? We'll be in
Check.
6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN News with, I think, Paul Mariner and Steve Nick.
Hey.
I might be here. I think I'll come in.
No, you won't.
Okay.
Today's transfer rater begins with Jean-Michel Seri. Now, this kid's playing style has been compared to N'Golo Kante. He's been linked with Man City, but there's also talk about Manchester United. Whose need is more pressing?
Oh, everybody's compared to N'Golo Kante nowadays. Everybody wants to find that guy. Well, good luck with that. I don't think that's happening. If you're Manchester United, you need this type of player more so than Manchester City. And for that reason, I think Manchester United would make a run at him and not Manchester City.
This next one surprised me. Klopp to Bayern Munich.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, the way that Liverpool are playing now, it seems like they have turned the corner. And it seems like Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool are trending in the right direction. They're playing at the best that they have played under him. Why would he go anywhere else? I think Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp stay together for a while.
One of your favourites, Fellaini, on his way.
Why is that? The hair? Yeah, I know you have issues with that. Look, so do I, by the way. I don't think this really matters, to be honest with you, Marwan Fellaini, where he goes.
Doesn't matter.
No, this is an irrelevant player when it comes to this sort of stuff. But I don't know. I'm going to go with a miss. He doesn't move me, let me tell you that much.
I think this is the first time we've had two Nice players on our transfer rater. Balotelli, I mean, would he come back to the Premier League? Probably. Will he go back to the Premier League?
This is as open-ended as we can have in the transfer rater.
No teams.
He's just going back to the league. At some point, we got to stop talking about Mario Balotelli, right? I mean, it's come and gone, isn't it? I mean,
You'd think so.
it's game over, right? I don't care.
Can we go 5-0? Lewandowski to Real Madrid. We've had this one before, maybe not to Real Madrid, but leaving Bayern.
And this is going to depend, in my mind, on what happens with Harry Kane. See, if Real Madrid can get Harry Kane, I think they go for Kane because there is a difference in age there where they're going to get the best of Kane at his prime, where Lewandowski may just be leaving his prime right at this point. So if you're Real Madrid, you invest in Kane first. If that doesn't work out, then it may just be that he falls at the hands of Real Madrid. As of right now, I think it's a miss.
5-0. So you don't think Real will go for Balotelli then?
No, or La Liga for that matter. You know, it's not just one team. It's just
Realistic, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe he's in a better mood tomorrow.